We also need to talk about this. Loved child has many names, so does this, but we'll call it a signal fan now.
Yeah.
We'll get into this in a bit later here as well, and you can explain some intricacies related to this. But let's first have a look at the insert explaining some of the basics about the signal fan.
So, Mikko, what is that you're holding?
This is a signal fan that basically it is used to be a part of our internal communication system for the offense. Much like in American football, they have different kinds of cadences and stuff like that. But we cannot use voice because the runners are 40, 50 meters away from home plate, and the pitcher, who is our main opponent, is standing like 2-3 meters away from us. So we use the signal fan, which, by the way, has been used by the Philadelphia Eagles as well at some point. So it is a very similar system. But I will give some examples. So basically, there's 3 kinds of main categories that you show with this thing. We use this for basically every hit. So let's say that we use the white color here. If the white color is pointing away from me, then the runner starts to run immediately when the ball goes up in the air. If it's like pointing towards me, then he needs to wait until if it's a väärä or not, if it's a ball or not. If you don't see the color white at all, then you don't run. So those are the main categories, and after that you have nuances like for different kinds of tactical twists and tweaks that you want to add, like according to what your game plan is. But the vertical pitch brings that kind of a tactical dimension that it turns into a chess between the 2 teams.
So who's paying attention to the fan? The batter, the runners?
Yes, all of those. And the assistant game manager as well, and also the opponent. So you don't want to have the same patterns all the time. You want to make it easy enough for your team to understand, but you don't want to make it like so easy that the other team would know your signals. So you need to create it in your own way so that you don't create an issue for your own team. That would be the most stupid thing to do.
Thank you, Mikko.
So, Mikko, many people find this signal fan the most fascinating thing about Pesäpallo, and I'm talking about Finnish people who actually know the game. Many Finnish people know a lot about Pesäpallo and know the basic rules, but this is something that you actually have to have been playing baseball a bit more to actually get into this stuff. So we definitely can't tell you everything that there is to know about it, but some few basic things we saw in the insert. What else can you tell?
The first thing that I would say that you do not normally show with the signal fan, but the assistant game manager is showing that you can have the knowledge of the direction of the hit before you actually hit. So for example, if you are hitting to the second base side, the runner on second base will try to block the visibility of a player until the point of the hit. And if we have agreed as a team that we will hit the ball to the ground, they will try to mask the player, so to say, that once again make them have no visibility for as long as possible. That is one thing. And also with the signal fan, you can do thousands of things, and I just gave some examples there. But as a game manager, I also my job is, of course, to create an internal communication system, like I said there, that works for us, but not for the opposing team. But also I can just give some examples that, let's say, once again, we use the color white here. Some examples that were used when I was a player in Superpes is that you can, for example, show that if the color white is like this, so it's on the side, then you run with the first hit. If it's the second, you run with the second hit. Or if it's the third, you run with the third strike. So that's one example. Or if I'm holding the white one, this would be a completely different one. Nobody will be running, but if the pitch is a ball, and I'm trying to fool the opposing pitcher to throw a ball, like a tactical ball. And so after that, the success rate of the batter goes up like double-digit percentages. So this is called a pre-warning. So I'm holding this color or any other color depending on the day. But I have this. So if it's a ball, after that, the point runner runs or everybody runs agreed to, like according to what we have agreed. So those are some things that normally are in play, but I would say that the team meetings can last for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on like the details you want to go to. But this is a very, very tactical game, and like I said, you create tactics for basically every hit, and also you need to like learn on the fly and like go with the gut feeling.
Yeah, and also worth mentioning is that it's not compulsory to use the signal fan. I mean, it's just a system that everybody has taken up. It wasn't there when Pesäpallo started. It came on later, and still there are a lot of stories about Superpes's teams in just the recent years that they have the fan and they act as if this is something, but actually the signal is how you're standing or where your hand is. So it's not compulsory to use it, but a lot of people use it. A lot of teams use it because it's simply there's so many there's a big variety of things that you can do and show at the same time. So you use colors, hands, positions, up, down. There are very many things, and if you're very skilled and you watch the game, nothing else but the fan, you might be able to figure it out in half of the game maybe, or in a game. But generally the teams don't use that much effort in finding out the opposing team's signal, just because they're probably not going to make it. So and they might change it for the next game, so there's really no use. During the game, keep an eye on this. You won't probably get into all the details with it, but you'll see how it's used in a general way.